1-5. We got tanks, isolated pockets of fire. We should be able to knock it down with 2 lines. Where you know that? 78.
This is the Tony Legend Show here on Manchester Radio Online. That was just a couple of minutes of testimony from firefighters, actually real audio from firemen who actually ran into the buildings to try and save people, and of course who died in subsequent demolition of the Twin Towers. But moving on very quickly, because we're almost out of time, I wanted to chat to Keelan Balderson from WideShut.co.uk and also Resistance Radio. And Keelan was down in London yesterday, and he's on the line right now via Skype. Keelan, welcome back to the Tony Legend Show.
Hey Tony, I'll just warn everybody, I'm a bit tired. I slept in Hyde Park on my megaphone, so...
Very rock and roll. Tell us about yesterday then.
Well, we all met up quite early, I think about 10 o'clock at Trafalgar Square under the big Zion sign for the Olympics. We kind of walked around Trafalgar a bit as the people were picking up, did a bit of bullhorning. There was this old lady that kind of got us all going. We were kind of a bit apprehensive, and then this old lady came over and took a phone and showed us how it was done. So that was kind of funny. And then
continue.
Yeah, then the Love Police showed up a few hours later. We followed them down a few streets. They closed down a boot store. They just turned up and they just put the shutters down. They raided into a McDonald's, which was funny to see. And then, the march went past and we ended up ultimately at Hyde Park.
And tell us about the spirit of the crowd and what kind of issues people were voicing their concerns over.
Well, there was all sorts of different people. I mean, there was a lot of truthers. I was quite surprised to see so many truthers. People with signs about chemtrails. There was people with signs saying, I'm not a sheeple, 9/11 truth, jumpers. For me, it was more about solidarity, just meeting these people with like-minded opinions. I had a sign that said, "The census kills." When we got to Hyde Park, my census ended up on a stray bonfire somewhere.
And very quickly, touching on the census, is someone else in your house going to fill in the census, and are you going to veto?
No, we're gonna push it as far as we can. I mean, that was the only census that we got. On the bonfire, we'll see what happens.
Well, I can tell you, within today is actually census day, isn't it? So you'll have 7 days to fill it in, and then after that, you are definitely going to have a knock on your door, and there is a non-compliance unit who are going to put you on the naughty list, and who are going to chase you for £1,000. So, are you going to fight that? Is that the route you're going to take?
Yeah, definitely, because I don't pay the TV license. Generally, what we do, if they come to the door, we just walk into the garden and ignore the door, or just tell them to go away, it's busy. I mean, there's no way they're going to get into the house, and we're not going to ever divulge any information to bring it on.
And I wanted to talk to you about, you mentioned how there was so many different people there, there was 9/11 truthers, there was people raising awareness of chemtrails. We spoke to Bill Maloney earlier, who was advocating investigations into institutionalised child abuse and stuff. How do you think, how does it make you feel when the BBC just calls everybody anti-capitalist protesters?
Well, it makes me feel angry, Tony. Personally, I didn't see any of the violence. I know there was some violence, but obviously the media were only focusing on that, and anybody else outside of the unions were just non-existent to them. I've seen a few of the videos online now, and you see the anarchists walking down the street with about 50 photographers all surrounding them, and it's just like, well, why didn't you follow us to Hyde Park, where we were all dancing along? And there was a really good group of people, peaceful people. The kindness offensive was there, with people that sort of give out free hugs and dance about. So there was a really good vibe. There was the anarchists doing what they were doing, and I can't really blame them. I memean, it's one option that they want to take, and I can support them from a distance. It's not what I'm going to do, but it's just a shame that the media focus on that narrow point.
And what do you think about Labour Party leader Ed Miliband giving the speech in Hyde Park. Is that highly inappropriate?
Oh, that was appalling. I first heard about it was supposedly through the internet, the Twitter sphere and everything, that Hyde Park was going to be an occupation of the people. That's what I thought it was. I didn't realise that there was this big organisation behind the Hyde Park meetup. So when I got there, I was a bit surprised. Loads of people with Labour signs and everything. So we bullhorned a few of them. Some people from Resistance Radio were kind of getting into a debate with the Labour people. Walked up and saw the big stage with all the controlled opposition spouting all their nonsense. And at about, I don't know, about tea time, all of the Labour people, everybody left Hyde Park, and the only people left were about 200 truthers, and we sat there all night. We took all their stupid union signs, we burnt them in bonfires to keep us warm all night. Helicopters circled for a number of hours, keeping check on us, but we were just sort of sitting there discussing things over a bonfire, and it was all good.
Nice. And is it, to your best of your knowledge, is there any plans for a repeat performance?
Definitely. Any protests coming up, the Resistance Radio crew, everybody's going to be there. I think the royal wedding, we're going to be there as well. It's going to be an ongoing thing, I think.
Indeed. All right, well, Keelan, I know you're very tired. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'll let you sleep in a bed tonight with a pillow, yeah?
Yeah.
Instead of your megaphone. All right, Keelan Balderson, thank you so much, and your website is wideshut.co.uk, yeah?
Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Keelan. I will speak to you soon. All right then, folks, this is ManchesterRadioOnline.com. Ian Bryan.
Is this UK? Gone in with this US of A.